You alright guys, it's N60 Sean, it's the Fun Kids Gaming Show. This is where we talk about general gaming things and ideas. You can also listen to this in a podcast form over on the Fun Kids website. Link is down in the description, and it's also on the Fun Kids radio station. UK time, Sundays at 2 o'clock. So let's get into this video, which is 5 ideas for new WWE games. So Vince McMahon's WWE manager. So essentially what I want to see is a realistic simulation of like running a wrestling company. A bit like the GM modes from SmackDown vs Raw, with a little bit of a mix of the booking simulator games like EWR and TEW, and also with the management stuff from like a Tycoon game or Football Manager. So I want to see a realistic wrestling version of that, where the goal is, let's say it's based very much on the WWE, where the goal is increasing the value of the WWE brand while also building up the audience. So that's essentially what the goal of the WWE is. So I'll also be like coming up with engaging storylines, match types, putting on great shows and balancing the books, but it'd also be dealing with the relationships and the personalities of the humans behind the superstars as well, with their personality values impacting on how successful they are when you put them in certain positions in the wrestling company. But it'd also be a balancing act of creating storylines and characters that appeal to the casual fan while also appeasing the hardcore fan base. So for example, like one scenario would be whether you decide to invest loads of TV time in Randy Orton, who may have like attitude or personality problems. He might get himself in trouble, he might end up costing you money, he might get a negative media focus on the company. Or do you give Chad Gable a mega push? I mean, the matches are excellent, the hardcore wrestling fans are loving it, but the casual fans aren't really feeling the connect. They might be losing interest, merch sales and live attendance is falling. Do you stick with Chad Gable, or do you go back and settle with Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns on top means happier casual fans, means more money in the bank, it means happy shareholders? And do you make the content more edgy? Do you stay with the PG stuff, or do you bring back things like the Hardcore Championship, barbed wire baseball bats and the such like? Bringing that back, again, hardcore fans are happier, it starts to get a little bit more cool, but do you risk losing the big money sponsorship deals like your big lovely toy manufacturers and all that stuff? I think a game like this would be really fun, because obviously everyone wants to control their own WWE. Everybody thinks that they can do things better than Vince McMahon in creative. But also I think it'd just be nice if it was a really ultra-realistic game, which reflected what life was like running the WWE. I think it would make more hardcore fans sympathetic with some of the limitations and some of the stumbling blocks WWE creative have when making a gazillion million hours of content each week. So that's idea number 1, Vince McMahon's WWE manager. Right, so number 2 on our list of WWE game ideas is WWE Universes. Okay, so this is essentially universe mode from the WWE 2K games, but an online version of that, where you create a wrestling brand which exists in a world of other brands which have all been created by other players. So your goal is to build up the value and reputation of your brand and to make loads of money so you can put on more exciting match types and all that stuff. Just basically make the sweet money and build up the reputation of your brand as putting on the best matches with the best superstars. So let me talk you through how this game would start. So you create a new brand of wrestling company completely from scratch. So you start off in like quite a standard arena. You design like the ring skirts, like say if it's like the N60 universe, so you can design the ring skirts and all of that sort of stuff, and as you get more money you'll be able to buy more customization things, upgrade to bigger arenas and all that sort of stuff. And you start off with building your own, you create your own roster. So let's say that we'd created like Henry Horseman, Valerio, Pugnacious, my man Matt Rubio, N60 Sean, Dan TDM, and whatever. Those are like our first sort of people on the roster. What you can also do is that you can also go to other companies and book superstars that they've made. So you'd be paying them the money, so they'd get the money for building up these stars, and it also means that you can sort of get more characters on your roster without having to create them all from scratch. And the whole goal is to build up the star power of your superstars by getting them to put on good matches. So if I put in Henry Horseman against Valerio and I played them through, made them have like a 5-star match, then their attributes would increase, their star power would increase, their value would increase. So if someone wanted to come over and find themselves a little bargain and sign Henry Horseman for their show, then I'm making more money for my brand. So I think the goal is to then make like cool characters, like make the characters really impressive so they make more money, and also putting on some great matches to build up the star power. And then you can sort of see like a big list of everybody's superstars, so you can actually see who the #1 popular created wrestler in the region or whatever it is. I think that would be pretty cool. Idea number 3 is WWE Legacies. So this is essentially more of like, you know, like Fire Pro Wrestling. This is kind of more of a Fire Pro Wrestling version of the WWE game, so sort of more stripped back visuals, more sort of simpler gameplay and all that sort of stuff. So what it would be is that you could have the WWE, but you'd also be able to change the year. So that's essentially the main difference here, is not only like the graphics and the gameplay stuff, but you could literally just move a slider along and just go from 2018 all the way back to, say, I don't know, 1985 or whatever, Hulk Hogan first one. I mean, well, you could go all the way back, maybe. Why not? I mean, this is our imaginations. Let's go wild with this. So you can choose the slider. It's got all of the pay-per-views and all of the graphics are simpler, so you can fit more of that content in it. And there's also a mode where you can have like the Dream Era, so you can just pick and choose from this like massive roster of past and present superstars to make like your idea age from the WWE. So you can have dream matches like the Mean Street Posse versus the Shield. That's the match I want to see. So number 2 in our new WWE Games ideas list for the Fun Kids podcast and Fun Kids Gaming Show is WWE Battle Royale, because obviously you can't throw around gaming ideas without trying to shoehorn Fortnite in somewhere. So it'd be like 60 superstars, massively multiplayer online thing, where you're dropped into a huge WWE arena with loads of like backstage areas, little offices, and then like, obviously like the ring in the central. And your job is to sort of go around, pick up loot, find weapons, and as soon as you see someone, you just start brawling until you like knock someone out, and then like people could be joining the fray, could turn into like 10-man scraps. Like the fighting mechanics would kind of work to sort of allow that kind of mass brawl, chaotic feel, and the last man standing would be the winner. How would that work? Battle royales without guns? How would that? Would everyone just be hiding? I don't know, but I feel like there's fun somewhere to be had. I think that's idea number 4. So our final idea for our WWE, our new WWE game ideas is WWF Hardcore Champion 24/7. Now, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there's a championship called the Hardcore Championship, and when Crash Holly won the Hardcore Championship, he then said that he would defend that title 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you just turned up and saw Crash, and you had a referee in tow, then you could just try and pin him for the Hardcore Championship at any time. Led to all sorts of chaotic situations, like matches being defended in soft play areas, like Crash Holly would like be having a snooze and people would be sneaking in, trying to pin him. It was fun. It was a really, really fun time. What if you had a game like that where you're the Hardcore Champion? It's like an open world situation where the open world would be kind of like like one of those sort of randomly generated things. So it's a new experience every single day. So your task is to just get through the day without losing the Hardcore Championship and just see how long you can go. So you could be just going to the supermarket, you could be doing like little menial tasks like checking into your hotel before the WWE live event, just pottering around, speaking to writers, and then someone could just like burst in and a hardcore match could start. And you always have to be on your guard. Like if you see someone with like running in with a referee, you're just gonna start kicking off. Like even like the waiter, you could just be in a restaurant and then the waiter all of a sudden just springs into, just attacks you, and then all of a sudden you got to defend the Hardcore Championship in like these crazy little mini brawls. I think that would be pretty cool. I think a Hardcore Championship game would be excellent. Where are all the indie game developers just making like some niche WWE based ideas? That is what I want. I want that sort of stuff to happen. I want like niche, weird little ideas like this Hardcore Championship simulator and the WWE Vince McMahon simulator. But yeah, those are my 5 WWE game ideas, guys. If you are watching this on the YouTube, smash that like button, and if you are listening on the podcast, or if you whichever way that you're not listening, go and check out the other. So if you're listening on the podcast, go and check out my YouTube channel, N60 Sean. If you're watching on the YouTube channel and you're seeing my actual face, go and check out the Fun Kids Gaming Show podcast and also the radio show on Fun Kids Digital Radio. I've been N60 Sean. See you later, bye.